Welcome to my great you Brown Archer Brown in the podcast our new show January in the 2021 right now going well.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun 2022. First,
I'm not saying this. Lincoln Loud, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lincoln! You finally have your birthday after after what? After 6 seasons, you finally have your birthday episode. Okay, now let's actually head over to our main subject today, which is the best of 2021. All right, so 2021 would be summed up as a better 2020. Yes, we were still going through the pandemic, but at least we're still in full force. To say the least, a year in a pandemic definitely showed when it comes to how many episodes premiered in 21. Loud House literally only debuted 33 episodes. Maybe the lowest when it comes to episode premieres, but not as much as SpongeBob. Apparently, according to what I've heard, SpongeBob only aired 3 episodes in 2021. So it's like, oh wow, we totally dominated over SpongeBob that year. The Casa Grandes, on the other hand, made 39 episodes, and Grande more than the Loud House.
So sorry.
I mean, in a couple of how about your 2021 overall in general?
Now, of course, as a year, 2021 is much better than 2020. It would be much better than 2020, of course. Hello, we got vaccines, we got people getting around again, we got job growth. But one of the main reasons that makes 2021 shine in comparison to previous disastrous year is, of course, the amount of Loud House and Casa Grande's content we've been blessed with in that year alone.
I mean, the thing is that there are actually some good Loud House and Casa Grandes episodes. And I have to say this right now, Casa Grandes did step it up with a lot of their episodes. I mean, we had a lot of specials from the Casa Grandes. The Loud House only had like one special, 2021. But looking at the Loud House and the Casa Grandes, and like I said, they're going in the right direction. Loud House is actually having episodes about the sisters plus the secondary characters. You see the Casa Grandes do a lot more with secondary characters and having their episodes. But to say the least, it just feels like both shows are going in the right direction when it comes to season 5 of the Loud House and when it comes to season 2 of the Casa Grande. So to say the least, both are doing well. And we had 2 movies come for the Loud House. We had that animated movie on Netflix. Win-win for all the fans for sure. It's the fact that they actually had movies plus those episodes.
Like, you got a whole bunch of Loud Casa content from its many episodes all the way down to it's not one but 2 movies of the Loud House, one animated, one live action.
Yeah, and to say the least, they both are are, I would say, stellar case, but you know we'll discuss that more.
One
in the
of them,
best.
I would say.
We'll discuss more
stellar,
as we continue.
The other not as stellar.
We'll discuss more as we continue on with our Loud Casa talk. So let's actually start it off with the Loud House moments. So me and Omid went through this and looked at the best moments of 2021 for the Loud House, and I have to say, would you agree with me, Omid, that there was a lot of solo episodes for and actual work together in an episode. How did you feel? How did you feel about this episode? I mean, like all people who's just pretty much a farm kid, literally helping Lynn play baseball and helping them win a championship. How awesome was this episode?
Yeah, you never expect it to happen. You never really expected Liam to be quite a team player. And when you consider the fact that he's worked so hard, of course, have teamwork management, he's going to have very good teamwork skills. And so that's what comes in handy when he plays softball for Lynn's team. And so, yeah, I really liked Cow Pie Kid. I'm really proud of Liam's softball career, and I don't think that counts. I'm thinking more of something along the lines of a
And I don't Liam actually played basketball before. If you remember correctly, he was it's awesome to actually see Zach in his family. Oh, I mean, when you how awesome is the fact that you
and like his overall beliefs of aliens and all that. Like this episode, when you add in Rusty to the mix, especially like Rusty like play parts in Zach's alien plan, and then of course you got the rest of participating as well later on. Let me tell you, like this episode gives really good depth to Zach, and this episode really not as I seen, but it was still definitely worthwhile. In this episode. And when I mean key role, I mean that she pulls off this Hannibal Lecter role in this episode, hence the title reference. Now, of course, like we see Luann saying, she's mature for this now. Quit pranking.
Yeah, she said she quit. She said she quit pranking, but
emphasis on but. When it's been revealed to turn out to be Lily of all characters, even though she's a baby, it turns out that the reason why Lily did all these pranks is to get Luann back into pranking, like to come out of it. Once you know it, it actually succeeds, much to the dismay of the rest of the family. There's two pranksters! Oh! Yeah, Luann is back into pranking, and wouldn't you know it, like so loud crowd Casa Crew, get ready for the next April Fool's episode in which Luann has returned to pranking herself. Thanks a lot, Lily.
You're expecting a trilogy to end with that episode Fool Me Twice, but it turned out to actually not happen. I just feel like the crew really wanted to have another Luann episode in April Fools. I just feel like, was it their moneymaker? Was it because a lot of fans really wanted to see Luann in April Fool's mode, being all pranky, being all evil and stuff like that? I just felt like they wanted to make this episode just because of that. And here's the thing, like, this was going in the right direction. The fact that Luann was going to stop to be mature and stop pranking. But in the end, it kind of sucks considering that Lily would now be the next pranker. If anything, Luann should have actually just given the prank stuff to Lily instead of doing it again. So now you have two pranksters in the house, and April Fool's Day, you're pretty much screwed, Louds. So
yeah, pretty much. Like you have a Luann Loud April Fool's trilogy set. Now here comes a first entry to the Lily Loud April Fool's trilogy.
So I'm kind of saying this, if they're going to have another April Fool's episode, I can imagine, like, let's say, for example, like the Louds go on vacation. Maybe they go to that Miami trip that they were gonna plan to do back in Loud House Christmas. And then they leave Luann and Lily behind. And then of course they'll just invade the Miami trip and then start pranking them and all that stuff. I don't know. Like I said, season 6 is about to begin. There's a possible chance we're gonna have another Luann pranking episode. If that's the case, this is not gonna end well. This is not gonna end well.
The family is doomed. The family is doomed.
Or the fact that like, look, I just believe like every season of the Loud House is gonna have an April Fool's episode of Luann. I mean, we didn't have one in season 4, but it's just going in that right direction. We thought we edited it after Fool Me Twice, but no, we have more Luann, evil Luann.
And now
Go
evil
away,
Lily.
Go away.
And now evil Lily on top of that.
Oh yeah, that too. All right, I don't have a plushie of Lily. All right. Okay, I'll take that face away. Jesus, I'm scary. All right. Okay, so besides that, let's continue on. And let's talk about another episode that also did come to mind here. This might not be the best episode to discuss, but I want to talk about Lenny and Lincoln's episode, Grub Snub. Yeah, cool. It's Lenny and Lincoln trying to compete for a spot in Grus's Games of Grub. But I think the best thing about this episode here was the fact that certain characters came back. Yeah, I thought they're dead. I thought they were gone, but Jackie and Mandy are back. How shocked were you? How shocked were you to hear that? Keep characters that you only saw from one episode in season 3 come back in this episode.
Pleasantly surprised to see that Jackie and Mandy have returned from the dead. Because let me tell you, after Everybody Loves Lenny, they keep showing Miguel and Fiona. Like Miguel and Fiona have been overshadowing the hell out of Jackie and Mandy. And you get the impression that, okay, if Lenny hangs out with Miguel and Fiona much more than Jackie and Mandy, she might as well have picked Miguel and Fiona over Jackie and Mandy and Everybody Loves Lenny if they're not going to give the two sets of friends equal amount of attention. But now here that we see in Grub Snub that Lenny treats all her friends equally here. So that's really good to hear. So yeah, I am blessed that Jackie and Mandy are back, and hopefully we get to see more episodes with Lenny's entire squad in the future.
I just really hope they do, but it kind of sucks that, it took them, 2 seasons for them to actually come back. And the fact that, the point of Everybody Loves Lenny actually shows in this episode. It's like, oh, yeah, these are my friends, and, they're all cool together and everything. So it just tells you, okay, the continuity is actually there, and and I don't know what, but it feels like the Loud House is actually learning their lesson about the continuity problem, and it's now showing up in this episode. Yeah, do you forget that Lenny had friends like Jackie and Mandy, that they were cool BFFs? Now you actually add Miguel and Fiona from that one episode, Everybody Loves Lenny, and it just shows in Grub Snub. So it's like, okay, great, this is awesome. Your continuity actually works. So yay.
Yeah, exactly.
And for the episode overall, I kind of said it was 7 out of 10, because it didn't feel that great. It was competition between Lenny's friends versus Lincoln's friends, and I felt it was a episode.
Now, I found that the battle between Lincoln's friends and Lenny's friends, it was quite engaging. But the parts that were stupid, they were beyond dumb. Oh my god, I never forget that stupid ending, that stupid last minute where like Lincoln and Lenny are
Lincoln and Lenny were literally on a
spinning around the
fan, and they pretty much,
and then Lincoln and Lenny go flying out of it's just, why would you do that? Why would you end on that note?
And it was Lincoln's joke, we'll take it to go, and then obviously they flew out.
It doesn't work. It doesn't. Oh my god, the ending is still stupid. The ending is still stupid.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, the fact that they actually put the point that, hey, Lenny does have friends. Remember Jackie and Mandy? Oh yeah, back in season 3. Continuity is working, guys. Yay!
Yeah, continuity is back in this. Yeah,
I'm so happy about that. That was that's the one stunning thing that happened, because it may not be one of the best moments for anybody here, but it was definitely one of the best moments for me. Just the fact that oh my god, they remembered Jackie and Mandy. Yay!
Yeah, they finally. Now it's a matter of time before Loud House season 6 finally remembers Rocky.
Oh god, I hope he actually comes back, but I'm sorry, Omid.
Oh, Lucy and Rocky was such an adorable ship.
Actually, there are some characters that we really want back in the Loud House, but they never will bring him back. Remember Chaz? Apparently you don't see him anymore.
They did. The Loudhouse did Chaz hell dirty. I'll never forgive them for that. Like honestly, Undercover Mom,
worry.
what the hell did you do to Chaz? What the
Don't
hell did you
worry,
do?
don't worry. You have what was it, Scott now?
Yes. See, I'd rather Scott from the Loud House movie than that,
I'm waiting on season 6 to actually have an episode where Lenny and Scott actually have a date or something. Oh my god, Scott's back from Scotland.
See, I'd rather Scott from the Loud House movie than whoever the hell that bland guy was in Undercover Mom. Seriously, who was that guy?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing I didn't put up. It's a good thing I didn't put up Undercover Mom as one of our best moments because it wasn't really that best.
Yeah, no, honestly, Undercover Mom could have been great. It could have been, but like there was just particular things that kind of botched the episode down. It was really disappointing.
Besides the fact that Lenny would had a huge crush on a bland guy. Okay.
I did like the part where Luna called Sam a girlfriend. I really.
Okay, that one was cute. That one was cute, but it was kind of given considering that they are girlfriends, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to another episode that I actually thought was actually pretty cute. It's the cool thing to actually have like, two opposite worlds attract in one episode. And I'm talking about She's All Bat. Because you never expect to see Lola Loud, who's always prim and pretty, and Lucy, who's always gloom and, dark, to actually work together in an episode like this. Omid, how did you like She's All Bat?
She's All Bat, but I thought was pretty good. Like they managed to make like two sisters who are completely opposite, in terms of color, in terms of their age, in terms of their mood, in terms of everything. And they managed to make an episode that pretty much gives more, bondage between two characters you'd never really expect to bond. Well, technically they did in Tea Tale Heart, but that was really about it. You remember how like Lola was a crazy one and Lucy was the same one in Tea Tale Heart? Well, in this episode, they actually managed to switch roles. They switched positions where now it's Lucy going cray and Lola is pretty much getting the better end of the stick. So pretty much what happens is that like the Morticians Club lets Lola in, for some reason, and like I love Lola, but the way the Morticians Club allows Lola in, like it was a bit too rushed for me. But the conflict with that Lucy felt when she feels she's overshadowed by Lola in her own squad, her own group, like the jealousy, resentment that Lucy feels towards Lola is actually quite understandable. Like it's actually one of those selfish Casa character episodes that's actually done. Like it's one of the better ones because you understand these shoes where you're pretty much jealous of your sibling, your friend, like you feel that they overshadowed you in your own group. So it's actually quite relatable, and and all this stuff. And while Lucy did commit bad things, like she has made some grave mistakes. See what I did there? Grave mistakes.
Yeah.
She does come to realize she screwed up at the end, and she apologizes to Lola, and Lola admits that she herself has felt jealousy towards a sister as well, Lisa. So the jealousy is natural. Like what Lucy's feeling is quite natural.
The thing is that in this episode it's just more of like Lucy trying to find another partner for this one rule that was Principal Huggins tried to pull up, just because I have a feeling like Principal Huggins just wanted that club gone. So he wanted to try to get another member, and it would be Lola Loud, and Lola will actually turn out to be very stellar. The thing is that you never expect Lola to actually, a pretty girl, to actually be popular with like goth kids. Apparently, goth kids actually really do like Lola, which made Lucy jealous, and that's what Lucy was trying to kick out Lola. But nonetheless, I mean, like I understand like Lucy's perspective, because I understand that you can get jealous for certain things, especially if you're the leader of the whole group, and Lola's pretty much taking over. But I do love the whole fact at the end where like, Lola revealed like Lucy just doing all this stuff. And Lola, got hella angry at her too. But nonetheless, in the end, it just feels like a great moment to actually have Lola and Lucy just, have an episode together. And the one thing that I kind of want to point out in this episode, two sisters that you never expect to actually have chemistry together. Like you may say, for example, like Lori and Lola back in like, what's it, Down and Out. like they had their own episode, but they actually work together because they actually relate to each other. These two don't really relate to each other. Like what? One gothy, one really prim and pretty. So
exactly. And they
it's
don't
just-
mesh together.
and it worked.
Like,
And it works in this episode. It just feels more like heartwarming to actually see these two sisters who are sisters of the Louds, and it's just beautiful.
let's be honest. Like the only other, yeah, it's one of those things where you manage to take, dark and gothy and, prim and pretty, like pink, and you manage to mesh it well together and actually make it like something really worthwhile. The only other way that dark and gothy and prim and pink and pretty really do mesh, really work together is Hot Topic.
That's
another thing.
Yeah, a lot of anime stuff in Hot Topic, yes. But yeah, I mean, great episode. I think this was one very good episode. But speaking of actually good episodes, we'll talk about the only special that actually aired in the Loud House. It's called Camped. It was the Loud House's only special in 2021, but to say the least, it could be one of the best episodes in 2021. Omid, would you agree too that Camp was a really good episode to watch?
I adore Camped. Camped, honestly, I'm just going to say this. It's the best Loud House episode of 2021. Hands down. Like, pretty much everything about Camped just screams Loud family dynamic. It just screams Loud House. And it works for, like, so many reasons. Like, it definitely works on the adventure aspect where you've got the Louds pretty much treasure hunting. You pretty much got the Louds trying to save Lynn Sr.'s old camp. And they have to go through, trials and tribulations, solve puzzles. Like, think of it as like something you would see from, let's say, DuckTales or Uncharted or Indiana Jones. Like, the adventure aspect they pull off very well. And then you combine it with the Loud family aspect where they do have legit chemistry. They legit help each other. And they actually have some really good and memorable moments and lines. Like, every single scene with them just nails. Like, every single scene is very memorable. Like, from, the dark joke that Lucy made from, and then you got, like, Rita scaring the bear.
That was a good one, yeah.
And then you got, of course, the most iconic part about this episode, about the journey. Luna Loud singing "Row, row, row your boat."
Of course you would say that.
Life is not a dream. Oh God, yes, just pure excellence. Just Luna Loud really nails each and every single tune. It's just so awesome. Luna's the goat.
I think the fact in this episode is the fact that, like, throughout this adventure that they went through to find this treasure, it definitely was really beneficial for all the Louds, considering that every Loud actually helped out. Like Lenny trying to figure out a puzzle, Lori trying to find her surroundings. Of course, you got to see Rita actually fight off a bear, which I thought was pretty awesome. Luna rocking out on the guitar to find the fake treasure. To say the least, like, this was good. Like, overall, great adventure. Overall, like, the Louds working together. And it all to save a camp that their dad is, like, trying to save. It's just great. It's just overall a great episode that I felt, really hits home to the Loud House fans. Like, just hits home to, like, what family is all about and all.
Exactly. What I like about this episode is that none of the characters feel unnecessary.
Right.
Each and every character, like you said, contributes to the episode in one way or another. Rather it be plot-wise, rather it be comedy-wise, like rather it be like, pretty much anything. Like they're pretty much contribute to the ride. Oh, and also Lily, like the way Lily plays a part in this as well, where she crawls.
Yeah, she crawls to dig a hole to get them. Yeah.
The puzzle, like she crawls to find a hidden, key door or something.
Yeah, and I thought this was actually just cute. Just everything overall with this special was great. Maybe one of the best specials of the Loud House. But remember, we also do have a best episode tournament coming up next month, so let's see if that actually holds. Let's
go.
All right, so let's talk about the next episode, and I believe Omid will love this one here. There are some Luna moments around with the Nick of Time. Omid, you want to explain more about In the Nick of Time?
Oh, yes. Right on time, in the Nick of Time. Yes. Oh, my God. In the Nick of Time, one of the best season 5 episodes. Like, and this is not biased. Oh, my God. Look at this. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is so pure. Like, pretty much anyone who dislikes this, actual image has no taste at all. Look at this. This is beautiful. You got Sam in Luna's arms. You got Luna and Sam looking at each other into the eyes. It's just like, oh my God, everything about this episode, everything about this scene, everything about this image. Oh my God, it is just, it's perfection. It is just perfection. And of course, you got, Luna's dilemma of having to, switch between going on a date with Sam and pretty much disguising herself as, Mick, when it turns out that Mick couldn't come. But then at the end, Mick actually did come. Yeah, honestly, like Luna's dilemma here, you do feel for her because it's pretty much her juggling between her two loves, the two best things that happened to her. Like, of course, you got Luna trying to bring Mick Swagger to the dance, and you also got Luna trying to be a good girlfriend to Sam. So yeah, it pretty much works all around. It's one of the best Luna episodes I've ever seen. I love In the Nick of Time. I would watch it again.
I have to say this though, this definitely did please all the Luna fans out there. I mean, first off, you get to see Luna's backstory. You get to see Luna's backstory of how she got into rock and roll. Remember that one episode for
Bros About to Rock? Yes,
so
they took a flashback.
So another continuity that happened in this episode.
They incorporated a flashback that was presented in the best season 1 episode for Bros About to Rock, and I just love this episode for that.
Yes, I just believe it was just amazing just to see that, and the fact that like she says the story, and the fact that she also knows Mick Swagger, which is actually true. There's a reason why Mick Swagger did actually appear in this episode, and the fact that in the end, both Luna and Sam end up like having their date, and it's just beautiful, especially that last scene where it's like the rocker is like that literally was the last scene of the episode. It's like, oh my God, this is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, Sam and Luna fans absolutely got your food, definitely, with this episode. It was just
hey, Nate.
Yeah, you got your food.
Y'all won't gobble it up till I get fat,
I mean that was the only Sam Luna moment apparently in 2021. We just hope we get to see more of like Sam and Luna in episodes. I would say like I here's the thing. I like it that they actually do it like at least 1 or 2 episodes, so that they don't actually put a lot of emphasis on Sam and Luna.
Yeah.
Remember, Luna is also a rock star. Just put the heads up there. She needs to also have her own episode.
You got to have a balance of Luna's rock star life and Luna's relationship.
Love life. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just glad that we actually have like at least 1 episode. Maybe if we can actually go to season 6, maybe 2 or 3 more episodes of Sam and Luna. But if they're going to be like a real
4, 5, 6,
here's what I'm thinking.
8,
here's what
9,
I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. Like Sam and Luna will have a date episode probably in season 6. That's my prediction. And if it happens, you better thank me for that, Obid.
Yes. Yeah, like when we see Luna and Sam on a date, I'll remember to say to you those 2 words, you're welcome.
Maybe like an official date where they actually like don't do the competition, more like them actually dating and eating in a restaurant or something like that. Maybe a double date with some other couple. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, we have a lot of episodes. We have like 4 more episodes to bring down. So let's actually talk about, well, one of my favorite episodes. First off, we haven't seen her in quite a while. And the last time we actually saw her in season 5, her episode was terrible. But now we actually see her again in this episode called Lori Days. And yes, it's finally my episode I get to see about Lori. Oh my God. Anyways, I'll start it off here in this one, just because Lori misses the family, and yeah, she understands how she's being cut off with the fact that like it's just hard to communicate with college and all. That she's pretty much she's pretty much far away from a distant land, so she may have the feeling that she's probably missing out on the family. And no doubt about it, I understand Lori's point where she's like, okay, yeah, I've already been in college for so long, I totally forgot about, maybe my family forgot about me. So that's why she went all the way back to Royal Woods just to see them again. And then throughout this episode, Lori's trying her best to actually connect with the family. I remember that one time where she tried to like hang out with Luna and Sam. She wanted to hang out with Luann and Benny and all these other things. And I understand Lori's point. Like she tries her best to, hang with the family. And in the end, they understand each other's reasons, and it all was settled in the end. And I just believe it was just awesome just to see how Lori's struggles turned out to be such a good resolution at the end for this episode. Omid, what are your thoughts on Lori Days?
Yeah, I really like Lori Days. I really do. Like, it's literally, it's literally the Lori episode that we have been waiting for. And let me tell you, it delivered. With that one obvious exception, except for that one scene in the theater, that scene that really pissed me off to this
Come
day.
on.
Everything
Come
else about the
on.
episode worked. Everything else about the episode worked because, first off, it touches upon Lori's insecurities and it touches upon Lori deep down wanting to reconnect with her family, even though she knows that she's a college student. It's a time for her to be independent and stuff like that. But deep down, we see that she really misses her family. She really misses spending time with her family. And the thing is, it's hard for her to communicate through video chat because she's always breaking up or something like that. So she decides to go and visit the Loud House herself, and like I said, she wants to reconnect with her family, but the way she goes on about it can be a bit much. And so at the end, when she reveals that she misses her family, she wants to reconnect with her family, the Loud family understands, and it leads up to this beautiful moment where they all hug her.
I just think that this is just an amazing episode, especially with the fact that the last episode that Lori had was Ghosted. Yeah, y'all talked about how bad it was, and
it was garbage. What was that all about? What was
it was supposed to be a Halloween episode, and it was this is not even a Halloween episode. This just tells you ghosts rule over the freaking golf course. I guess this is stupid.
Exactly. You just don't do that. You just don't unless it's a Danny Phantom episode, you don't just incorporate ghosts and mix it together with golfing. You just don't do that.
Yeah, Lori Days was definitely one of my favorite episodes of 2021. All right, so we only have a couple more episodes to bring up, and until Omid brings his favorite Loud House episodes. So let me go ahead and bring in this episode where Lola had another chance to get a pageant friend. Remember, Lola had friends. Remember, what was it? Millie Ramos from, Community Service? Yeah, that was probably her school friend. But she never had a pageant friend, like Cricket Van Doren in the episode Fam Scam. I thought this episode was just beautiful. The fact that Lola and Cricket, definitely two opposite worlds. Well, then again, no, they're both pageant girls. But the thing is, Lola's trying to make sure that she lives in a prim and pretty family compared to what she really lives in a Loud House where it's just absolute destruction. I can talk more about this, but Omid, what are your thoughts on Fam Scam?
I really do like it. I like the fact that Lola does try to befriend another pageant girl named Cricket, and it turns out that not only is she a pageant girl, a pageant queen at the highest scale, but she's also French. So that adds into another factor as to why Lola definitely looks up to Cricket. And the thing is that while it can come off as dishonest, let's keep in mind that this is Lola Loud. She does have the tendency to act mischievous in a way to get what she wants.
Remember, she's just 7 years old, so kids would obviously do that just to impress
here though friend. It's understandable because she wants to impress this French pageant queen, and in order to impress the French pageant queen, she wants to look as sophisticated as possible, hence why she tries to keep her real family hidden from her. But then Cricket gets upset at Lola for different reasons that Lola might not think. It's because the fact that she lied to her. So Lola apologizes to Cricket, and Lola introduces Cricket to the family, and all's well that ends well.
I would say this though. I mean, now Lola has a pageant friend. I'm just hoping that Cricket actually comes back in an episode where Lola, say for example, runs for a pageant and Cricket's there just to support her. Or if there'd be an episode where Cricket and Lola face off each other, I'm like, oh no, please not let these best friends actually become a rivalry.
Yeah, where have I heard that from? Oh yeah, Resident Upheaval. Imagine if they had an episode where Lola and Cricket had their own version of Resident Upheaval.
Oh my god, I just don't like him fighting. They just are adorable together. These two princesses, have their fun and tea parties and stuff like that. Please,
and invite Millie too.
And please, yes, get an OT3 going with Millie, Cricket, and Lola, please. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, season 6, we're really predicting on what will season 6 do. And like I said, the episode was okay. I still say that Lola, look, Lola needs more friends, and Cricket definitely is that one friend that definitely works out. One thing I also do want to point out: why didn't you actually say that you went to Scotland, Lola? It would have been a good continuity point if you actually said that.
Exactly. Why didn't
Instead, you
you?
actually said that you were French. I'm like, no,
I'm sure you had. I'm sure you had stories to tell about you being in Scotland, and because, like, well, obviously they're true. They're not really lies. They're actually true.
They are true. Exactly. They're not lies. Lola, and then again, she's a brat who loves to lie. I guess that's her character, but she understands also like what happens when you lie and all. Yeah, you might lose a best friend like Cricket, for example. Yeah, but definitely one good episode. All right. I'm gonna skip the next episode, but I'm gonna go straight to the episode. First off, this episode we never reviewed yet, but I kind of want to bring up the fact that like this is Rusty's episode, I believe, because this was Rusty, being framed and stuff, and the fact that the squad was there. I think the episode of the big point on this part was the fact that there was actually a twist at the end where like, oh, I never expected this person to actually be evil. I'm talking about Frame on You. Yeah, Girl Jordan apparently is evil. How explain your thoughts about this? Like, great, Girl Jordan, how do you do this to a person that you failed on cake and stuff?
Okay. I'm actually going to give my own take on this. Now, in terms of Frame on You, I thought it was a pretty interesting and pretty, stellar mystery episode. I really like that. Now, I've seen numerous, and I mean numerous of people complaining about how Girl Jordan was presented in Frame on You. Now, of course, I respect your opinion, and, at least you can respect mine, like, let's just agree to disagree. Now, what I think about Girl Jordan this episode. Now, even though this had the way Girl Jordan's actions had fans react negatively towards her, I mean, really negatively, I'm going to be honest. I never had a problem with what she did. I actually thought that the Girl Jordan aspect, the Girl Jordan reveal, actually helped enhance this episode even further. It actually made this episode even better. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. So grab on tight, folks. This is going to be a 5-minute rant on why my defense on Girl Jordan.
Remember, we have an episode. We got to review this episode later once the end of season 5 happens. So don't go too in depth on this.
Okay, now for the sake of saving time, I'm going to save that for the review. But why I think this Girl Jordan twist works, why I will defend Girl Jordan this episode, is it works as a mystery story from a writing perspective. Girl Jordan was really justified in what she did. Hello, Rusty did ruin Stella's project. This does help give Girl Jordan a prominent role in the Loud House episode. And also the fact that she did at least apologize. I mean, she apologized. Okay, what else do you want her? What else do you want her to do? Now, of course, it could be argued that Girl Jordan did get off a little bit scot-free, and I can definitely agree with that. That is a counter argument that you do have a good point. Girl Jordan could have been punished more severely, but again, like I said, the Girl Jordan twist in and of itself as a whole, even though a lot of people really hate what they did with Girl Jordan, I felt that what they did with Girl Jordan, they helped really enhance her character. They did her character favors, and they did this episode a favor as well.
My thing about this is the fact that, holy crap, we finally get some emphasis on Girl Jordan. I mean, yeah, she has a best friend, hence what happened and how the best was won. But there's no emphasis on Girl Jordan, and we talked about this a lot. Why isn't Girl Jordan actually part of as part of the secondary character crew? Why wasn't she part of Lincoln's squad? There was a chance that you could actually have done that past your bedtime, but no, we end up still seeing Girl Jordan just be a secondary character, just a backup character, and all that jazz. Until now, where we actually get to see Girl Jordan actually become evil. In my case, she was kind of I get it. You're there for revenge. Rusty ruined your cake, and at the end, I don't know what. It's just weird because okay, so Rusty ruined your cake. You ended up getting an F, and you just needed revenge just because you failed. I get it. You want to go for excellent A's. That's why you do all this. It's just an interesting little tidbit. But like I said, we're going to put that into the review once the last episodes of season 5 come out. But like I'm saying, oh my God, this just tells you how much character development Jordan has. And I swear to God, if we can at least get more Girl Jordan episodes like this, did this tell me that we can actually have more character depth on who Girl Jordan is? Because I believe everybody in the fandom knows about Girl Jordan now. So
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah, honestly, like I said, this actually helped benefit her character rather than destroy it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like
That's what I'm
because
saying.
before
That's what I'm saying.
before this episode, Girl Jordan was just mostly as a background character. And because she was mostly a background character, she doesn't get enough emphasis. Like we don't know much about Girl Jordan other than oh, she's Lincoln's classmate and that's it. But in this episode, however, like Girl Jordan actually plays a legit and crucial role in the episode. This episode helps give her her own identity, her own personality.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, this definitely was a twist. I mean, first off, we were thinking that it would be a Rusty episode because it was to help Rusty out, but no, this. I mean, would you agree that it was also a Rusty episode because it was to help Rusty out, or was it? I mean, like the twist at the end was more towards Girl Jordan's part. In the overall episode, it was for Rusty.
Yeah, overall it was for Rusty. You might as well call this episode "Who Framed Rusty Spokes." You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
might as
who
well
framed
call the
Rusty
episode
spoke
that.
like who framed Roger Rabbit. But yeah, I the twist at the end definitely surprised me, and that made it a really good episode. Like, oh, I never expected a twist mystery happen in this episode. It was just overall great. All right, we got some more episodes that Omid also wanted to bring up. That were my favorite episodes. Omid also wanted to bring up a couple episodes here. First off, No Bus No Fuss. Omid, you definitely love this episode because of the end. Can you explain more about it?
Oh my god, let me tell you, like I really like No Bus No Fuss as a whole. It's a good Click and McCloud episode, and it's a nice episode. They do have chemistry together, but oh my god, the cherry on top in terms of this episode, the best part of the episode is where you see Lincoln standing up to the bullies at the end. Like he actually decided to have the courage to stand up to the bullies on the bus, and of course he got Lincoln with the badass, stand like he's not taking any crap anymore and all that stuff. And let me tell you, this is one of Lincoln's best moments. This is one of Lincoln's Chad moments. Like this is an episode where you look at this and you think to yourself, yep, this is definitely a season 5 Lincoln episode. This really does show because it shows him being brave and not only standing up for himself, but also standing up for his friends and for his fellow classmates who went through the same kind of bullying as they did. And it is just so incredibly well done the way that he has his friends and classmates right beside him saying, and because at the end of the day, like bullying is wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like they're not, it shows that they're not going to take any bullying. They better back off. And, the way Lincoln planned everything, it is just, stroke of genius, honestly. So, yes, I do hope that we get more scenes and moments with this Lincoln, like Lincoln moments right there. But chances are, considering how awesome, how amazing Lincoln has been in season 5 compared to previous seasons, I honestly feel that I have hopes that season 6 will have more Chad moments with Lincoln right here.
I think why I didn't put this as one of my favorite episodes is the fact that like this episode kind of felt messy throughout the overall. But you also do get the point. Yeah, there are bullies in the bus. I think the best part of this episode was the fact that Lincoln stood up to those bullies and to pretty much defend with everybody around the bus, because it feels like those bullies just pretty much ruled the bus. And who needs to step up? Lincoln Loud. So it just tells you like Lincoln is absolutely maturing. He's definitely showing to be of a mature person, not like a brat like you would expect from a little kid. He's not a little kid anymore. He's about to be,
He's a
young
man.
He's about to be a young man. He's supposed to
He's a
defend.
man.
He's supposed to change all the, he's supposed to defend his own stuff. So it just tells you like how brave and how cunning he is, that he was able to stand up to those bullies and also have the whole squad also stand up as well. So it just was awesome.
Look at the difference between this Lincoln and early Lincoln. Look at the difference.
I mean, it's just an absolute difference between both.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's another episode that you also wanted to talk about. This one here, Season's Cheatings. Definitely one of the best Christmas episodes for the Loud House. I mean, would you want to explain more about Season's Cheatings?
Yes. Now, when I first heard about Season's Cheatings, I'm going to be honest. I was dreading it. I was dreading the fact that we got a typical Lincoln Loud episode that you usually see in season 1. You think that it's going to go in that route, but then it turns out that in the middle, they actually managed to put a spin on it. They actually managed to make it feel fresh, make it feel different in comparison to most of the season 1 Lincoln episodes. And it's just by the fact that the execution is just so wholesome. Like, you really do see, like, somewhere down the line, like, you go from like Lincoln trying to get the Rip Hardcore backpack in the first half, and then you gradually see Lincoln trying to do something for someone other than himself for a change. His Secret Santa Lola. Now he tries to get Lola the present, but unfortunately the mall closes, and so somewhere down the line, like after Bergman Burger, you see Chandler of all people. Yeah, Chandler's in this episode, making a deal with Lincoln that if he gives up the Rip Hardcore backpack, then he pretty much gets the diamond earrings for Lola. And so at the end, we see Lincoln making the ultimate sacrifice, giving the gift to Lola. And then you see Lincoln getting rewarded for his selfless deed by Lincoln getting his touching gift from Lily that Lily made herself with, like, macaroni and all that stuff, or a drawing or something. And so, like, you see Lincoln teared up, like happy tears. And then you see him hugging Lily. It's like, oh my God, this is beautiful. It's like so wholesome. Like, oh my God, I cannot believe how much of a pleasant surprise the season's cheatings really was. Like, it easily could have been like a typical, LLF episode, like a typical season 1 Lincoln Loud episode. But no, they actually managed to do something that's actually quite wholesome, quite unique, and quite heartwarming in this episode. They managed to pull it off, and I just applaud the writers for this.
I think the fact that when we first started looking at like the synopsis of this episode, we were thinking, oh no, here comes Lincoln again, trying to be selfish. But then when you see throughout this episode, Lincoln, like, yeah, he did try to be selfish. And the thing is, like, yeah, he ended up getting his backpack. But in the end, he totally forgot about Lola's gift. So he had to actually the whole sacrifice part was definitely awesome. The fact that, like, he had to sacrifice that backpack to get Lola those earring gifts. And the fact that Lily still got Lincoln as his was it Secret Santa or something like that. So Lily still ended up having a gift for Lincoln, and it's just beautiful, actually, the fact that she ended up drawing something for him, which is pretty awesome. Oh, and the other thing too, continuity in this episode as well. Didn't we have a lot of references to, say, for example, the
sweet spot?
Yeah,
yes.
The sweet spot. Remember, he was screaming at the Manzilla. He was also going to that bed thing, which he has done before. So it's just cool to actually see that continuity also come into this episode. So yeah, I definitely one of the best ones.
Yeah, like, literally, like the whole layout of Lincoln's plan in his mattress. Yeah, it just screams out sweet spot.
All right, one more episode I could bring up here for the Loud House before we move on to the Casa Grande's favorite moments. Both me and Omid would agree this could probably face off with Camp. They might also win. But do you remember that Lisa and Lily episode where Lily had that nightmare?
Yes.
And Lisa had to come in. She had to sacrifice herself to make sure Lily doesn't have bad dreams. And it turned out Lily turned out to become the hero for Lisa. I thought that episode definitely took the cake. It was one of my favorite episodes of 2021. I'm talking about Dream of Lily Dream.
Yes.
Also
known as the Loud House's take on Inception.
It pretty much is, yeah. But I don't know how else to explain it. It was just absolutely awesome. We get it. Lily had a problem where she kept on getting nightmares. It was all about Lisa because it's all Lisa's fault, considering all those experiments came up. And you also get to see those old experiments also pop up, like the tentacle. You also get to see Trashy, which you've seen before in season 1. So it's like, oh wow, more continuity again. So it's like, okay, good, we're in the right direction. Season 5 of the Loud House, and I also love the fact that, like, Lisa's. It's all Lisa has to come back and go into Lily's brain to make sure those dreams go away, which is great. I love the fact that, like, one of her nightmares was actually Flip, and I believe it was a tease to the fandom. It's like, okay, the fandom was pretty much like, yeah, we all hate Flip. Okay, beautiful. Fine, we'll make Flip.
That was beautiful.
We'll make Flip the enemy so that you all can see, like, but you can all pretty much, like, the fans can finally, like, get a taste of, like, seeing Flip be defeated. So it's like I thought that was awesome, and the ending was absolutely like wholesome. The fact that like Lily saved Lisa, Lisa kissed her on the cheek, which I thought was beautiful. And then when they woke up, they end up like in this scene where they talk together and say like, "I had a great dream." It's just cute, Lily being adorable, and then Lisa also being like a great sister. I think this was just awesome. This is just a beautiful episode.
Oh my
your
God.
Your thoughts on this episode, Omid?
Oh my God. Honestly, I adore this episode. I really love it. Like, honestly, like, while Camped is my favorite season 5 episode of The Loud House, let me tell you, this definitely comes as a close second to me. It is just one of my favorite 2021 Loud House episodes, one of my favorite season 5 Loud House episodes, and definitely one of my favorite Loud House episodes like ever. It is just that amazing. Like, it is just that wholesome. Like the dynamic, the bond between Lisa and Lily is just so wholesome and so pure because beforehand you do see them as just roommates or Lily is being like Lily's test subject, but here like they actually feel like legit sisters. Like they do feel like they have like a special bond. Like Lisa does think of Lily not just as a test subject but as her little sister that who she feels guilty for. Like she feels guilty of causing Lily's nightmares. And so she wants to fix this herself by going into Lily's mind and trying to fix it herself. And let me tell you, like, everything about this just works. Like, the heart of the episode, it's just all around glowing, just so pure. And also the color scheme, the animation, it's just so creative. And the overall action in this episode is just so engaging, especially the fact that, oh my God, whoever came up with the nightmare, flipping a nightmare, whoever came up with that idea, give that man or woman a raise right now. It's just that amazing. And also you got Lily going all Cloud Strife on, the nightmare. Like Lily went all Cloud. And then
I forgot who was the artist that actually did that, but props out to you. You definitely have a good taste in video games.
Definitely. So overall, for all these reasons and more, Dream of Lily Dream is one of my absolute favorite Loud House episodes like ever. It is just so stellar. And honestly, it's one of those episodes I could definitely watch again.
Like I said, this could probably be like the finals here where you get to see like Dream of Lily Dream versus Camped being like, who's going to win this one to be the best Loud House episode of 2021. Can't wait for that tournament. Can't wait for that tournament next month. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like, if I had to come between the two, I would still pick Camped. But like I said, both Camped and Dream of Lily Dream, they're my top 2 season 5 and my top 2 2021 Loud House episodes.
Most definitely. All right, so here's the thing. We didn't go through all of the Loud House episodes because like some are good, some are bad, some are kind of average. But if you want to talk more about some certain Loud House episodes, go ahead and put it in the comments some episodes that you love from the Loud House, and we'll put them up on screen to tell you to show you all like your favorite episodes of the Loud House in 2021. All right. We took a lot of time with the Loud House. Let's move over to the Casagrandes and their favorite and their best moments. Let's start off with the first episode that actually did air in, well, that's actually not the first episode, maybe like the third or fourth episode that aired in 2021. We never had an episode where we actually get to see Bobby and Ronnie Ann actually work together as brother and sister until this episode drops. And this actually was absolutely wholesome. The fact that they were doing this for their mom. I'm talking about Guilt Trip. And it was definitely one that I thought was just awesome to see Bobby and Ronnie Ann work together. But the whole twist at the end was the fact that the whole twist in the end was the fact that like the mom, like Maria was there because, having Bobby and Ronnie Ann was actually their biggest treasure to say. Omid, what are your thoughts on Guilt Trip?
I really do love Guilt Trip. It's honestly one of my favorite Casagrandes episodes because you get to see, like you said, like we don't often see Ronnie Ann and Bobby in an episode together. Usually you see Bobby working in the Mercado or you see Ronnie Ann hanging out with Sid and the like. But, you pretty much, when in terms of comes to like Ronnie Ann and Bobby like together, unfortunately, we don't really see that often. And I feel like, one of my biggest things I wished for back then was for Ronnie Ann and Bobby to share an episode together. And let me tell you, that wish has been granted. They do spend an episode together. And like their motives, what they strive to do is just so wholesome. I think that like what they came for this episode to do, why they're even hanging out in the first place, is honestly the most touching reason. And it's all because they want to help out their mom, pretty much to help the mom raise money for. They want to raise some money for their mom to make to travel all around the world, because it's been revealed that because she was born with Ronnie and Bobby, she wasn't able to travel. So they feel responsible, and they feel they take it upon themselves to pretty much remedy that by going to, like, different, like, different worlds, like not different worlds, but like different restaurants, different themed restaurants, to pretty much help win the free trips all around the world for Maria. And they do it in, like, the most clever ways possible, like Italian restaurant, and then you see it like a Korean or Japanese restaurant, and you even see them like dance, like they see the dance.
The whole dance competition was definitely like something cute, but to say the least, overall, it was just great to just work for their mom, because the thing is, like, we get a past story about like how their mom wants to be like the person that loves to travel a lot, but it never happened because she ended up having Ronnie Yen and Bobby. So it's like, and obviously they have to work together to make sure their mom is satisfied. So it's like, I felt like it just felt great. Like they felt like they were a burden, that their mom never got the chance to travel around, and just everything in this episode just felt so wholesome. It just was awesome. So definitely one of my favorite episodes, Guilt Trip.
Yeah, definitely. I really love this episode too.
All right. Now I want to do another thing I also want to analyze too. I don't know if we actually had CJ episodes in ever in quite a while. I remember the last CJ episode we ended up having was like R in the Family, but that was like what, season 1? That was back like 2020 or 2019. I don't remember what kind of year it was, but this year we actually end up having CJ episodes, which I believe we kind of requested a lot for, because we wanted to have more focus on CJ. Am I right, Omid?
Yes, definitely.
So the 2 CJ episodes that did stand out to me, first off, was Shortcut and Spinoff. That definitely first ever CJ episode since R in the Family. They definitely give aspects to CJ, who he is. He's very talented at haircutting in one episode, and he also has that that disadvantage of being nervous, especially in crowds. So it's just, the common person that CJ is. So I loved how these episodes were all portrayed. Just tells you how CJ is just, obviously a regular person, but tries his best to, become a, tries his best in a competition, say, for example, in Spinoff or in Shortcut, where he tries to help Carlota when it comes to her degree. These 2 CJ episodes are amazing. Omid, what are your thoughts on CJ having his own episodes in 2021?
Finally, we've been waiting for this to finally happen, and wouldn't you know it, we get not just 1 but 2 CJ episodes this year. We got Shortcut, which of course CJ plays a prominent role in pretty much helping Carlota out, like sort of like trying to cover for Carlota in a sense. And then you got Spinoff, which I believe is the better of the 2, where you got CJ like in his own spotlight, well, shared by Par, but Par plays like a main-ish role, but it's mostly CJ that we focus on in Spinoff. And let me tell you, in those 2 episodes, you just see CJ as his playable, lovable self, where he just loves doing what he does, rather be cutting hair or rather be participating in a spin competition. He just has fun doing like his activities, and like pretty much CJ still keeps that playful personality. And honestly, episodes like this, like I want to see more CJ episodes, like especially in season 3 and in the Loud House season 7. It's like, enough of Carl already. We want more CJ, man. Seriously. So yeah,
I know
CJ
exactly.
CJ is one of my favorite Casa Grande episodes, and these 2 episodes prove why.
Look, he needs more development. Same goes to Carlota, which we'll explain later in this Loud Casa Talks. But I mean, like, you never get to see CJ have his own episode. You never get to see CJ, he always hangs out with the Casa Grandes, but you never have him actually become the lead person in an episode. And it's just amazing to see how talented he could be as a hair cutter, as a person who can also like help a Mercado with the spinning technique and even like try to win in a competition. Yes, he gets nervous, which makes sense because people get nervous when it comes to competitions. So I do love how they portrayed CJ in both episodes. It just tells you like she's just a normal person. Yes, he may have Down syndrome, but you remember, special people are also regular people. That's another lesson to also bring up.
Exactly. And that's another reason why CJ is one of my favorite characters, is because of that, representation.
Exactly, for special needs kids and all. I thought it's just amazing to see. All right. Now I do want to talk about, well, I mean, just celebrated a lot these past couple of weeks about a certain ship, or maybe a certain friendship that happened between certain characters. You remember an Utter Mess? Do you
Yes.
remember Utter Mess?
It actually,
Yes.
I remember that. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually turns out to, be the complete opposite of its title. Like Utter Mess actually turns out to be a, worthwhile Sidonican episode. Like, in terms of the best Sidonican episodes, I would say Prankiversary is still the best one. But like, in terms of Utter Mess, the conflict that Ronnie Ann feels when having to choose between her two best friends, her your bestie in Roy Woods and her
Like,
bestie in Great Lake City, like you do feel for Ronnie Ann because we've been
yeah.
there.
Look, the thing is that Ronnie had a big decision to make. I mean, the fact that like Lincoln said, "Hey, why don't we hang out? And you had a free ticket. Can I come along?" And then she says yes. But then Sid also overhears, and then she says yes too. Look, I understand Ronnie and trying to pick a best friend. Nonetheless, it turned out to be a very entertaining episode. The fact that like Ronnie Ann tried to look, she gave Lincoln and Sid tickets, but Ronnie Ann had to find her way to get in. And I understand the whole point. The whole point at the end where she's like, "I can't pick both of you," and how everybody was pretty much all in agreement to each other. It's just beautiful, actually, with this whole Sidonican moment here, and it's just tells you how great this episode is. Just awesome.
Yes.
Like, it's just
Look at
beautiful
that.
with these three.
That's a Donican hug. It's just everything. Look at that. Just, oh my God, just so pure. So pure.
I had to bring it
Yes.
up. I had to bring it up because it was definitely the best present.
Oh my God.
Sidonican for the win. And also the first ever Sidonican episode. I mean, for an episode to actually have Ronnie Ann's best friends, Lincoln and Sid, to come along, I believe this definitely takes the cake as one of the best episodes of 2021 to actually have these three as the main characters.
Yes, definitely. I agree, man. Like honestly, between this and Prankiversary, I'm just like, pleading. I'm like pretty much screeching for more Sidonican episodes. Let's have that.
I really hope so. Hopefully Lincoln joins more in, Royal Woods, or
And
sorry,
no,
not Royal.
this episode is not an utter mess. Despite what people might think, despite what people might say in the title, don't let the title fool you. This episode really is good.
It definitely is good and just beautiful with this episode. Oh, God. Yeah, Sidonican for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Utter Mess definitely was one of my favorite moments in 2021. But we're also going to talk about the other Sidonican moment that also happened, the other Sidonican episode that also happened in 2021. But that's in a later time. Well, we'll bring it up later. So let's actually move over to, well, I believe definitely one of my favorite episodes that I never expected to actually see, where you actually have two siblings actually work together. I remember there was this one kid named Carl who got really depressed because his hero is fake. So who came into the rescue? None other than Bobby to actually come in and become El Falcon. I'm talking about Dynamic Do-Over.
Yes.
And that, no
Yes.
doubt, was definitely an amazing episode. Omid, you love this episode. Can you explain more your thoughts on Dynamic Do-Over?
Yes, I absolutely love Dynamic Do-Over. Like, honestly, I'm just going to say this right now. This is my favorite Casagrande episode of 2021. Yes, I said it. My favorite episode of 2021.
That's a lot.
Casagrande
That's
episode.
a lot to say because we're not even done with the best of 2021 for Casagrandes yet.
Yes, this is what I consider to be Casagrande's best episodes of that year. Like, honestly, it's also my favorite Casagrande episode of season 2. And the reasons why I say that is because it's honestly much similar to Camp. It's the best of both worlds, where you got the superhero actiony aspect, where you got Bobby as El Falcone, dressing like pretty much trying to put on action scenes. Like you got Bobby and the rest of his family trying to bring back hope, trying to bring back Carl's belief in El Falcone by having them dress as El Falcone and El Falcone's enemies. Like you got like Carlota as La Cobra, but then you got also other characters like Hector. Like I knew that Hector would be a good El Commissioner Gordo Commissioner Gordon, like, Easter egg to Batman. And so you see them try, like, the superhero action aspect, like the colors and the visuals, and just overall how the animation turns the action scenes. They really do work. They help make the episode very colorful and actually, like, much like how you're watching a superhero cartoon or movie. It's just like, as a superhero media consumer myself, it is just a sight to behold. And also, it also ties into the family aspect, which I think is done really well here, because you do see Bobby seeing Carl getting crushed that El Falcone turns out to be fake. You see Bobby really trying to help Carl bring back his belief in El Falcone, because when you're a little kid, you need a hero to look up to, and Bobby really wants that for Carl. Like, he doesn't want Carl to go through this depression stage. And so he and his family work together to pretty much make Carl happy, make Carl believe again. And so it's not just a lesson for, it's also a good lesson for even like the El Falcone actor himself to learn as well, that he dresses as El Falcone for a reason, and it's to give kids hope. And so all around, as a superhero action episode and as a family episode, it just all around, when you combine together, it just makes for what I consider to be one of my absolute favorite Casa Grande episodes as a whole, and one of my favorite La Casa episodes ever.
I just believe that this was definitely a big, it's like a Big Brother episode where you get to see
Or like
Bobby
big cousin, little cousin.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
cousin,
or
little
yeah,
cousin.
big cousin, little cousin. Nonetheless, it just feels like Bobby was just absolutely being supportive to Carl, who was just absolutely depressed. That, yeah, I understand this aspect before, where you get to see like a kid who is heartbroken, the fact that his hair was not real. We can look back at that Harold episode.
Eugene goes bad, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just amazing just to see like how Bobby, out of all the people, the Bobby to actually like do this stunt where he just continues to become the hero and have his family also work together, have the family also work together to actually make sure Carl believes in heroes again. And I love the ending too, where like Bobby even has to like take on a villain or take on a evil person or something like that. I thought was just amazing, and it also tells the fact that, like, Bobby and Carl, I mean, they're definitely awesome cousins, and it just tells you like how Bobby's just a great person. So yeah, it definitely just shows the who's the better man, and yeah, it just tells you the lesson for Carl, the fact that, like, yeah, I understand like heroes may not be real, but you know what? At the end of the day, you have to believe what you believe, and I just love the fact that like Bobby continued to give faith to Carl, and the fact that he still believes in El Falcone and all.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's an episode I could watch over and over again and never get tired of it. This is
It's
honestly
just so good. Yeah, it was
the
just
best
so
Bobby
good.
episode. Best Bobby episode.
Now, okay, we're still currently on the trend of Carl episodes, by the way. Would you say there was so many Carl episodes this in 2021?
Oh, I could argue there's like way too many. Up to a point, I'm just like, okay, we get it. Like, Carl's a good character, but enough shining the spotlight on him. Like, let's just get the spotlight to, I don't know, CJ. Hello. Like,
Yes.
CJ gets barely enough focus compared to Carl. For every one CJ or Carl episode, it's like 10 Carl episodes.
I don't know why, but it just feels like Carl's just having his way in season 2. Like, he got the kid, that he got that toy episode. He ended up getting Dynamic Do-Over. He ended up having there was another episode like Matters at the Cart, for example. It just feels like every episode I keep on seeing is just a bunch of Carls. I'm like, we're really just focusing on Carl in season 2, aren't we?
Yeah.
But
it's a Casa Grande. It's not the Carl show. Come on.
Not about the Carl show. Like, yeah, you'll have one Ronnie Ann episode, then you'll have like 3 or 4 Carl episodes right after that.
You see, this is another reason why I'm pissed that season 3 is its last, because like there was so much room to make as much episodes for the other characters as you have for Carl episodes. That's why it pisses me off.
Now, the thing about Carl episodes is that there could be like bad Carl episodes where like Carl takes advantage and becomes selfish and all, but there are Carl episodes where he actually helps. And one of these episodes, I think, is like the best Carl episode in 2021. And I'm talking about Do the Fruit Shake. Literally a mystery about Maybelle and this group called the Tropical Fruits. But you never expect to see like so much things happening in this episode, where like Carl would investigate, talk to the people who make the tropical fruits, and you never expect to actually see Maybelle a part of a group. So a lot of mysteries happening in this episode, but it just tells you like we're having progression here. Like Maybelle actually is a part of a group. We never expect to see that. Carl actually being helpful. Omid, how'd you like do the fruit shake? And like, what more can you say about this episode?
Yeah, honestly, I gotta say this was quite a great Carl episode because for one thing, it manages to do something different with Carl. It doesn't follow the typical Carl Casagrande formula where it's like, oh, Carl does something bad and then Carl learns to be good again. It's like we've seen that story so many times. Let's do something different with him. And would you know it, they managed to do exactly that. Especially in the second half where he tries to pretty much get the tropical fruits reunited. And of course, it's shown like here where Carl manages to do just that. And yeah, they do make quite a collab where DJ Carl and Tropical Fruits be like, do the fruit shake,
Yeah,
do the fruit shake. And also, Dancing Granian is, Dancing Granian here is the best part of this image. Granian being the dancing dark is the best part.
I think Granian needs to get more dancing lessons.
Yes.
But besides that, I mean, we also did have a music video for Do the Fruit Shake, and I think that's definitely one of my favorite music videos to see. Like, you get to see the tropical fruits in their young age, singing the song and having DJ Carl as the remix. And by the way, shout outs to Alex, but she can definitely rap. How the heck can you actually have that voice of Carl and try to transition it into like a rapper Carl, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, she could really pull it off.
Yeah, and no doubt about it, it's definitely one of my favorite Carl episodes. I mean, you could probably talk more about like other Carl episodes that also aired in 2021, but definitely one of my favorite Carl episodes is this one. Would you agree too, Omid, or do you say otherwise?
Yeah. No, I think this is good.
So let's move on to the second Sidonican episode. This was, I didn't expect to actually have, I thought we only had to have one with Utter Mess, but we actually did have two with Prankiversary. That one, I would say not as great as Utter Mess, but this just tells you like,
I'm sorry, I have to disagree.
Really? You don't like you don't like you like Prankiversary more than Utter Mess?
Yes, why? I do. I actually really do.
Interesting. Why you gotta tell me that now?
Yes, I hate to spoil the surprise, but I'm sorry. Like I like Utter Mess, but Prankiversary blows it out of the water.
I mean, was it the twist because Sid actually turned out to be a really awesome pranker?
The twist itself is what would help elevate this episode, because you think of, this is called Prankiversary, right? It's a prank war between Lincoln and Ronnie Yen, and Sid wants to get in on it. But we see how Sid is kind of a novice, kind of like a newbie to pranking. So like this, Lincoln and Ronnie Yen say to Sid that unfortunately pranking's not for you, and so so then comes this ingenious prank where not only do Lincoln and Ronnie get pranked, but also the audience itself get pranked as well, because we see Sid in danger. We think, oh my God, Sid's in danger. Lincoln, Ronnie, and why? How can you not include her in your Prankiversary? But then it turns out that it was all revealed to be one massive prank by Sid. And what makes it even better is that Adelaide and the animals were in on it. I'm just like, brilliant, very brilliant. That is how you do a pranking episode from the perspective of Sid. This is like Sidonican at its most ingenious writing.
I just felt like I thought it was just to be more of a competition between Ronnie Yen and Lincoln. And the other thing too is that, oh wow, Lincoln had to go all the way from Royal Woods to Great Lake City to do this Prankiversary. So when's the next Prankiversary? In Royal Woods? That means Sid and Ronnie Yen will probably be there at Royal Woods for the next Prankiversary.
Probably.
Besides that, I think this was just absolutely cute. I thought it was just going to be a competition between Ronnie Yen and Lincoln, but you also get to see like how standoffish it gets, because it's like, yeah, why don't you come over, Lincoln, and set off my prank? Why don't you come over here, Ronnie Yen, and set off my prank and all that jazz? Until Adelaide comes in and says like, Sid's in trouble, and then Sid pulls off the greatest prank. Yes, I believe we now get to see like Sid being an awesome pranker. That's why she ended up winning the crown in Prankiversary. So it just tells you like it's a good Sidonican moment, and it also tells you like Sidonican will probably happen again whenever the next Prankiversary will happen. So I have to say, like, really good episode, but I would say Utter Mess definitely was the better episode. Me and Obi can disagree on this.
Yeah. Agree to disagree.
We're gonna disagree, but I still say this was still a good moment. I mean, this kind of tells you like we're having the same formula where Ronnie and Lincoln and Sid are going to become like the next OT3, like the next possible like friendship that is going to happen in both Loud House and Casa Grande. So if anything happens next for Sidani Kid, it will probably be hopefully in the Loud House. But if it happens over at the Casa Grandes, I'm also in for it as well.
Yeah, like honestly, Disney Channel has Sasha Arcee, Nickelodeon has Sidonican.
Yes, definitely.
Wonder who Cartoon Network's OT3.
Oh god, we don't know. We don't know because Cartoon Network is a mess too.
I mean, the closest thing that Cartoon Network has to an OT3 are the Ed Boys, but that was an old cartoon.
That was a long time ago, me. Don't get me back into like. Don't give me hope that like the Ed Boys are actually going to come back with a new series.
No, I'd rather not.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Because we all know how it turns out with Cartoon Network and their reboots. Okay, I'm just saying.
Okay. Good to know. Now I do want to bring up one of the specials that came out for the Casa Grandes. This definitely kind of like well, how do I say this? It's kind of mind boggled me because when I saw this episode, when I saw like how the premise looks like, it feels like this is a Chang special. And I'm like, oh wow. And then when you watch the episode, you get to see this actually is a Chang's episode, but mostly about Sid. So we actually get to see our first ever Sid focused episode, and it's not just an episode; it's a special. I'm talking about Zoom Emergency, and this one is definitely an amazing episode just to talk about Sid, how awesome she was in this episode. Yeah, she may have struggled with the Changs trying to help rescue the zoo, but in the end, it was all about her to actually help rescue the animals and actually help rescue the zoo and everything. So you came up with a problem. Sid tries her best to fix the problem, and in the end, she still ended up fixing the problem. And also the side story about Adelaide and those monkeys. What are your thoughts on Zoomergency?
Like, I'm gonna be honest. I really love Zoomergency. I think, like, honestly, Zoomergency is my favorite Casa Grande special. It's my favorite Casa Grande half-hour special. And the reason why is because it's the episode that we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for a Sid episode for so long where it just focuses on her because we do want to see her as her own character, not just Ronnie Ann's sidekick. And once you know it, we've been blessed with a half hour, not just 15 minutes, but half hour Sid episode where it's basically just Sid helping her family out in the zoo. And pretty much she tries to do it here in her own Sid-like way, which while done with good intentions can go off a bit crazy sometimes. And then of course, the way Sid goes on about it is just really hilarious to watch, especially with that evil laugh. And especially with this scene right there where it's the dream sequence. Like, Casa Grandes always nails their dream sequences in terms of how they contribute to the plot and how they look with their color schemes. This is no exception, where basically you got Yu Quan telling Sid, animals love K-pop. And so the episode ends with Sid saving the zoo, and also like everyone in Great Lake City, including the animals dancing to K-pop. It's just all around. It is just, it is a fantastic Casa Grande special. Like, honestly, it's we've been blessed with, it's what we've been asking for months. Like a Sid Chang focus episode, and we got it in a 30-minute format.
I just love the fact that we ended up having a special for a Sid Chang episode. It just tells you like how important Sid is to the Casa Grandes and how vital she is, especially with the fact that she's Ronnie Ann's BFF. So they needed to actually have a BFF episode, have an episode all about her. Here's the thing that I also wanted to point out from this episode. I think this is the episode that started the trend for having secondary characters have an episode. So like you get to see like Sid have her episode. You get to see like others
Oh, right, and thank you, watching, and Saturday in New York, and be here, anything, here, again, and be here, donate, buy house, anything, gone, anything. Thank you for watching. You next time. Bye.